Hello grade 10 learners! Welcome to Science 10 lesson tutorial. I am Ma'am Sandra, your teacher guide for this week module with the title Science 10 Quarter 1 Module 1 Plate Tectonics, Distribution of Active Volcanoes, Earthquake Epicenters, and the Major Mountain Belts. This module has the following parts and corresponding icons. First, we have the what I need to know, what I know, what's in, what's new, what is it, what's more, what I have learned, what I can do, assessment, additional activities, as well as the answer key. The most essential learning competency is to describe and relate the distribution of active volcanoes, earthquake epicenters, and the major mountain belts to plate tectonic theory. The learning objectives are: define plate tectonics, 2. Locate the epicenter of an earthquake using triangulation method, 3. Analyze and explain the distribution of active volcanoes, earthquake epicenters, and major mountain belts. 4. Discuss the basis of the scientists in dividing lithospheric plates. And number 5. Plan a precautionary measures when volcanic eruption or an earthquake occurs. Before we start, kindly answer the 15-item test to check what you know about the lesson. Direction: read each question carefully. Choose the letter of the best answer. Write the chosen letter on a separate sheet of paper. Number 1. Which of the following sequences correctly lists the different arrivals of seismic waves from first to last? A. S waves, P waves, surface waves. B. P waves, S waves, surface waves. C. P waves, surface waves, S waves. D. Surface waves, P waves, S waves. 2. How many seismograph stations are needed to locate the epicenter of an earthquake? A. 1, B. 2, C. 3, D. 4. For questions number 3 to 5, refer to the diagram on the arrival of P and S waves below. Number 3. Which set of waves are the P waves? A, B, B, C, D, both A and B. Number 4. Which set of waves are the S waves? A, B, C, D, both A and B. Number 5. The difference in arrival times between each pair of waves can be used to determine the distances to the epicenter. A and B, B and C, A and C, and letter D, none of the above. Number 6. What is a volcano? A vent where hot water shoots towards the surface. B. It is a fissure or vent from which lava flows. C. It is a hole where liquefaction once occurred. And letter D. A hollow part of the earth. Number 7. Which statement shows the difference between a volcano and a mountain? A volcano erupts while mountains do not. B. Mountains grow high while volcanoes do not. C. Volcanoes don't erupt while mountains do. E. Volcanoes and mountains are the same. Number 8. Volcanoes were often found in what specific part of the world? A. Pacific, B. Atlantic, C. Arctic region, D. Antarctic region. Number 9. What is a plate? A. Are sections of the lithosphere that move as a group. B. Are rigid sections of the lithosphere that move as a unit. C. Lithospheric section that causes eruptions. And letter D. Are lithospheric group that creates magma. Number 10. The method used to locate the earthquake epicenter using distance information from 3 seismic stations. A. Scientific method, B. Triangulation method, C. Long-term method, and letter D. Short-term method. Number 11. What is a mountain range? A. A group nearby mountains connected by high ground and usually formed by the same process. 11. What is a mountain range? A. A group nearby mountains connected by high ground and usually formed by the same process. B. A group of nearby mountains by high ground and always formed by the same process. C. Group of nearby mountains. And letter D. Any expanse of high ground. 12. Which of the following mountain ranges is the longest? A. Andes, B. Himalayas, C. Sierra Madre, D. Blue Ridge Mountains. 13. Which of these most likely result from plate movements? A. Global winds, B. Mountain ranges, C. Ocean currents, letter D. Hurricane. 14. Which of the following is not the basis of the scientists in dividing the Earth's lithosphere? A. The distribution of earthquake epicenters, B. The formation of mountain ranges, C. The location of volcanoes, and letter D. The formation of rocks. 15. Which of the following statement best describes the formation of mountain ranges? A. Mountain ranges are formed when there is a collision between oceanic and continental plates. B. Mountain ranges are formed when there is a collision between 2 continental plates. C. Mountain ranges are formed when there is a collision between 2 oceanic plates. Letter D. Mountain ranges are formed when there is a volcanic eruption. Now, let us check your answers. Please refer to the answer key. How's your score? I hope you got all the correct answers. If not, don't worry, we will discuss the topics as we go along with the lesson. Let us try to test what have you learned from the previous topics. This activity will check your vocabulary if you can still recall your previous lessons. Activity number 1, match and connect. Direction: match the word found at the left of the box to its meaning on the right. Draw a line to connect them. we have what's new, what is tectonic plates. The Earth's lithosphere is consists of layers and is actually broken into pieces called plates. You can call them lithospheric plates, tectonic plates, or simply plates. This is the solid outer shell of the Earth that we live in. This part of the module focuses on the outermost layer of the Earth, known as crust, which is consists of oceanic crust or continental crust. Take note that these two crusts has different characteristics. This gray here is the continental crust. It is thick and made up of granite, and the gray, darker gray portion is called the oceanic crust, and it's made up of basalt. Granite is less dense than basalt. Keep in mind that less dense material floats while the denser material sinks. Now, both continental crust and oceanic crust float on the asthenosphere beneath. Asthenosphere is the orange part, and it is a partially melted rock material. So the place that we live in is actually floating on the asthenosphere. The movement of lithosphere, which can be observed in a great number of places, is the reason behind earthquakes and volcanic activities. This movement do not take randomly but along the longitudinal belts. So you can see volcanic activities and earthquake mostly occur in the edge of the continents, oceanic island arcs, oceanic trenches, and the mid-ocean ridge. This motion processes marks the boundary of tectonic plates. Here, the lithosphere is not uniform and it's broken up into tectonic plates of different sizes. So there are 7 major plates, namely the African plate, Eurasian plate, the North American plate, South American plate, Pacific plate, Indo-Australian plate, and the Antarctic plate. A number of small ones, which all move in relation to each other. The theory that describes the motion of the lithosphere is called the tectonic plates or plate tectonics. Plate tectonics is a theory which suggests that Earth's crust is made up of plates that interact with various ways, thus producing earthquakes, mountains, volcanoes, and other geologic features. Thus, plates are rigid sections of the lithosphere that move along as a unit. Let us try this next activity. Find me. Refer to the map of plate boundaries in Figure 2 to answer the following questions. So guide questions. How many plates do you see? Number 2, list down 7 larger plates and the remaining smaller plates in the table below. And lastly, what is your basis in identifying the plate? Before we discuss about plate tectonics, let's discuss first one of its consequences, which is the earthquakes. To further understand this kind of phenomenon, let's have this activity. Activity number 3, find the center, and our objective is to locate the epicenter of an earthquake using triangulation method. We need the following materials: map of the Philippines, drawing compass. If no compass is available, you can use string tied to both the sticks and the pencil. and ruler. So procedure, study the data showing the difference in the arrival time of P waves and the S waves on 3 seismic recording stations. So we have 3 recording stations, Batangas, Puerto Princesa, and Davao. And the time difference in the arrival of P waves and the S wave are the following. For Batangas, 44.8, Puerto Princesa, 32, Davao, 38.4. So, we need to compute for the distance of epicenter from each of these stations using the formula D is equal to TD, which stands for time difference over 8 seconds times 100 km. Next procedure, choose one of the recording stations and measure the computed distance on the map scale. For example, we'll have the scale of 1.5 centimeter equivalent to 200 kilometers. Since the map is too small, we need to scale it. So for example, if distance is 500 kilometer, then we have 500 kilometer times 1.5 centimeter divided by 200 kilometer. Then cancel the kilometer unit. So the remaining unit will be centimeter. So 750 divided by 20, we come up with the answer or 3.75 centimeter. Use a ruler set for the computed distance. 5. Center the compass on the station you have chosen. Draw a circle. Repeat step 3 and 4 and the rest of the stations. You should get 3 circles that intersects or nearly intersects at a point. This intersection is called the epicenter. Let's tackle first the meaning of triangulation method. It is a method uses distance information from 3 seismic stations to locate earthquake epicenters, and circles are drawn in a map around each seismic station. The point where 3 circles intersect is the location of the epicenter of an earthquake. I said a while ago, triangulation method uses the distance from the different recording stations. So now, how we're going to identify the distance of epicenter from the station in kilometer. The formula, D is equal to TD or distance traveled Now that we already identified the epicenter of each station, we need to locate the epicenter using a map. Our map is too small and using kilometer is not possible, so we need to convert them into centimeter. First thing you need to do is to cancel the same units and multiply 560 kilometer is equal to 840 centimeter divided by 200. Answer is 4.2 centimeter. For Batangas, the computed distance for the map, which is in centimeter, is 4.2. And using the same procedure, the answer is 3 centimeter. Then for Davao, the answer is 3.6. After identifying the distance of the epicenter from each station, you're going to draw circles from the station. First, station represented by yellow dot, the green for the second station, and red for the third station. The intersection among 3 seismic stations will be our epicenter.